welcome to my stream. If you're new here, my name's Jared. I write Ruby code sometimes. Sometimes I run a company called Supergood, where we build e-commerce sites using a platform called Solidus, which is based on Rails. Tonight we will not be doing any e-commerce unless the puzzle, today's Advent of Code puzzle, involves Solidus. I don't know. I've been doing the Advent of Code puzzles in Ruby. I did the first 5 days using TCR, test commit revert, where every time I ran my tests, if the test pass, my changes would be committed, and if the test fails, my uncommitted changes would be thrown away. That was fun, but before the puzzles start getting more difficult, I have decided to hold off on that. We're just going to do them in Ruby, real normal-like. However I can come up with a way to do them. What else we got? I am doing a whiskey advent calendar this year. It's put on by the fine folks over at Whiskey Dev here in Victoria. And let's see what I'm drinking, because I actually did not check. I've only had a sip. So, Writer's Tears, Mizunara. They got sandalwood, white chocolate caramel, hot and spicy on arrival, honey, vanilla, raw malt, tartness, cinnamon, lemon rind. I got like apple candy. So all of that ketchup and jalapeno jack popcorn that I was eating has completely ruined my palate, I think is the takeaway there. I challenged my wife to buy me weirder and weirder combinations of popcorn flavors at Colonel's Popcorn, and that's certainly a new best. We've got 5 minutes before we get started. Nothing super big changing since yesterday. Yesterday we had a little preamble where we sort of rewrote my test runner in order to remove the TCR bits of it and that kind of thing. That's all done though. It worked really well. We also switched to mini test. So that worked great. We didn't really write any meaningful tests. We just wrote tests for the sample inputs. But hey, they told us that the numbers that I was going to stick into the website were probably right. So they were valuable tests. That's what matters, right? How are you doing, chat? It's Sunday night. You probably have to go to work tomorrow. It might be late wherever you are. It's only 8:56 p.m. where I am, so I can hopefully knock this puzzle out, go read by the fire for a little bit. Amy has just made me some apple cider, which looks delicious, which I might start drinking once it cools down. Nice work. This is just the solution to part 2 from yesterday. I did something that was not particularly clever. If I had thought about it a couple minutes earlier, I would have reworked this. I relied on the fact that I could count the number of A's in a group and it would have to be the same as the number of lines. I could have just used the set intersection and whatever the union operators the Ruby provides, but I had too much of my whiskey and I did not think of that. In fact, I'm not gonna lie, I would not have thought of that. I always forget to reach for those union and operators and stuff. It's stuff that I would never normally do in the code that I write day to day. It's rarely the right thing to do a little inject thank you, good luck yourself. But yeah, those solutions are clever. I gotta remember to use that stuff more. That should be a something I focus on going forward. Hold me to that, chat. Yeah, I got green apple candy on the nose and in the body. So I don't know what my palate's gone crazy. I don't have a particularly good palate. Did a lot of coffee tasting and stuff, so I don't have a horrible palate, but I'm out of the game, so. Four viewers. Welcome, everyone. I think we actually got up to 9 viewers yesterday. Thanks to Eric retweeting me. I think our previous best was 8. Ooh, site's performing well. Kudos to Eric. Day 7, handy haversacks. Don't know what a haversack is. You land at the regional airport in time for your next flight. In fact, it looks like you'll even have time to grab some food. All flights are currently delayed due to issues in luggage processing. I bet we need to fix those issues. Due to recent aviation regulations, many rules are being enforced about bags and their contents. We're all about rules this year. Bags must be color-coded and must contain specific quantities of other color-coded bags. Cool. Apparently nobody responsible for these regulations considered how long they would take to enforce. I mean, sounds like airports. For example, consider the following rules. Light red bags contain 1 bright white bag, 2 muted yellow bags. Dark orange bag, I'm not going to read this all to you. There's a variety of rules there. I'll spare you the reading. These rules specify the required contents for 9 bag types. I see 9 lines, so that makes sense. In this example, every faded blue bag is empty. Every vibrant plum bag contains 11 bags, 5 faded blue and 6 dotted black, and so on. Sure. You have a shiny gold bag. Nice. If you want shiny gold in there, sure it is. If you wanted to carry it in at least one other bag, how many different bag colors would be valid for the outermost bag? In other words, how many colors can eventually contain at least one shiny gold bag? Are we building a tree, maybe? Are we building a tree? In the above rules, the following options would be available to you. A bright white bag, which can hold your shiny gold bag directly. A muted yellow bag, which can hold your shiny gold bag directly, plus some other bags. A dark orange bag, which can hold bright white and muted yellow bags, either of which could then hold your shiny gold bag. A light red bag, which can hold your bright white and muted yellow bags, either of which could then hold your shiny gold bag. Since I didn't read the rules, I don't know I read you all of that, but we'll carry on. So in this example, the number of bag colors that can eventually contain at least one shiny gold bag is 4. Sure, that makes sense. How many bag colors can eventually contain at least one shiny gold bag? The list of rules is quite long. Make sure you get all of it. Okay. Brutal. Just brutal. All right, this is gonna be fun. So just as an aside, before I jump into this, so I have one of those new M1 MacBook Airs coming, and it's really funny because I'm on a relatively new Mac Mini right now with the i5 with an i5 in it, and the new M1 MacBook Airs is significantly faster than this, but the graphics performance of it is better than an RX 560, which is the eGPU that I bought, which is currently in for repairs, which I normally use with this Mac Mini, which is like, am I just going to retire this Mac Mini now? We'll see. I might just do that. I might just stream on the M1 MacBook Air. But I have to wait till at least, sounds like Wednesday to get my hands on it. Okay. As you can see, the graphics performance while streaming without the GPU is unacceptable. It's real bad. Okay, all right, let's get writing some code here. So we have set up our binding. Today's day 7. Today's day 7. Oh, I didn't update the stream info. Everyone got incorrect. How about we just take the day out of the title? Advent of Code 2020. There we go. All right, fixed forever. That's a programmer solution. Cool. Day 7. And we should, I guess we can reuse this tab. Day 7. Sick. All right, what should we do, chat? How do we tackle it? I propose we parse the input first. Let's use a test input. Class parser, and then we'll write parser test. Another thing, I know what we should do. Maybe if I have time before the stream tomorrow, I'll set up a binding for Vim that creates that where I can just like type the name of a class and it'll automatically set up a mini test for it. That'd be cool. Test the SMAPL input. That expected is going to be non-trivial, so I'm just going to sure. Sweet. And expected equals an array. Let's just manually do the transform on this thing to decide what we want it to be. Something like this. Was it 2? Yeah, 2. I don't need these. Don't need this in array. Oh, I don't want to have to do this for the whole thing, so we are going to cut down our sample input, but make sure we cover all the cases. Three. That should be a 4. And Faded blue. Now, empty array, and this is just hash. Just making it an array, but maybe it's just a hash. No, we're not going to slime that. That's not what we're about here. Let's just input equals input, at input, split it on new lines, as we are so fond of doing. We will then iterate over that each with object and line output. And this is where we have to do some fun. So line, now we could do a regex. Bags contain we need to capture things though, so that's well, let's start with that. That's useful. That's useful already. So let's let that fail. Oh, disable pry. Cool. So I'm curious. We have X. Can you convert X to A? So I could do like underscore bag type rules equals that, right? Cool. I'm into it. I'm into it. Do I need to... Is this valid with the way this is laid out? Underscore bag type rules. Is that valid Ruby? No, we probably need the parens, right? Whoop. We will finger error there. Oh, I threw away my line. I know what my fingers did. They typed :D. One thing that's worth doing if you hate yourself but want to maybe get better at certain aspects of Vim is to disable all of the incremental movement. There's an extension called hard mode, which will force you to use :T and :D and all kinds of things that you wouldn't normally use. You get really in the habit of like jumping to things by a character or stuff like that. You find funny things to do. Some of them you'll find natural and you'll keep using afterwards. Some of them not so much, like using :D. Like I don't even have line numbers normally. So we got something. We got a bag type. We got some rules. We split the rules on comment, or first we should identify if the rule is nothing, right? Bags, line, bag type, Oops. So we can cover that. If next, if, or sorry, no. If rules equals no other bags, then we gotta do something else. Gotta do something more complicated. But here we'll say output bag type equals an empty hash. Sure. So now got that covered. If we get through, we can see that at least part of the data we're outputting is correct. We can faded blue, oops, faded blue, faded blue. That's cool. You with me, chat? You're awfully quiet, all two of you. This might be one where people are slower to show up afterwards, as it is a little trickier, and seems to rely on maybe some more computer sciencey things. We'll see. If not, we want to separate the rules. We'll just set rules to rules split on the comma, or comma space, I guess. That'll probably get us pretty close to what we need. Does the input contain double digit? I don't see any. Okay. So I'm gonna do a little rubular here. Rubular. And let's grab some test inputs that we like. And a singular one. I think our test covers everything, so we want a digit followed by our capture, followed by the word bag, with a question, with optionally an S on the end. Sick. Match. Sorry, well, I guess we just loop over these. We don't need to do anything with them. Each do rule. Match this against the rule. Grab the first thing, which will be our match. Oh, but we need to capture this too, so not the first thing. Grab the. So I'll just do what I did before and assign this to num bag type. No. Ha. I'll just call it type for now, but I see an error in my thinking here. I need this thing to exist already. And so we can go do not equal. Now that we have a num and a type, we can say output bag type equals num to I. Syntax error. Well, that keeps it fresh. Do I have to read the error? It's erroring at the bottom. Each do, oh, I didn't actually indent. Cool. All right, so we can parse this into something usable. Now we have to actually solve the problem. Dang it. All right. Working parser is good though. Now we can say oh, interesting. This isn't useful. Input equals parser new input parse. And now, oh, that's input. Yes, yes. And I can see that. Oh, I didn't pass in our test. I didn't pass anything in, but in real life, when it runs, we get a ton of stuff. A huge old hash, and I don't know. Superficially, this data looks right. I feel like I probably did this correctly. We can write a little assertion here. So we have a test input thanks to the kind people who put this together. Oops. Don't know why the indenting is weird. And we should be able to assert this equals whatever they said it should equal. 4. Okay. So you can just write the number 4 in there and call it a day, right? Perfect. Test pass. 100% test coverage. How do I want to tackle this? So let's just sort of walk through the examples. Bright white bag can hold your shiny bag. Bright white. So I feel like I want to work backwards almost. I'm also not sure I care about the numbers currently. So I don't care how many gold bags I can carry or it can hold. So if I this is the tree traversal, isn't it? So if I had a tree where the root node was bright, it was this shiny gold bag, and each of the children were things that could contain it. Directly. Thank you. Yes. Excellent idea. Let's get the hot apple cider going. Good tip. Good tip. Delicious. Thank you. And then the other bags could be the bags that could contain those bags, and so on and so forth. Then every element in my tree, every non-root element in the tree would be a bag that could somewhere down the line contain a gold bag. Well, let's make a thing that makes a tree here. Tree. This is not a good name for this, but or the reason I want to parse the input and then convert it into a tree separately is, especially since I've already done that work now, is I don't really know what step 2 is going to be. So if step 2 requires the data in a different shape, I don't want to have already like thrown away information by turning it into a tree. Because like I don't think these numbers matter currently, and surely they will later, right? I mean, Hoth's probably already finished and knows the answer to that speculation, but test sample input. So I'm gonna write a similar test to this one. And we're gonna, everyone's gonna be really upset with the name of this class, but I'm okay. I have no gold. I need gold though. No, I don't necessarily need gold. I need one of these to say gold. So that one, I need actual valid input. Okay, red bag contains 1 white bag or 1 shiny gold bags. 1 shiny gold bag. Oh, I don't want this input. I want a hash. Right. Okay. So I can work with this because that's not what my expected is going to look like at all. Light red. So light red can contain shiny gold or dark orange. Can contain, skip that. And this can also contain shiny gold or muted yellow. Sure, and for complete list, let's say muted yellow contains nada, and that's it. That's all I need, right? Okay, so that looks correct. And then I want to turn that into, I expect that to be a tree. And how do I want to structure the tree? Array, I might just do nested arrays for this one. Don't see any reason why not. So shiny gold, oh, it's gonna be a string, shiny gold. Oh, no underscores. My fingers want to write underscores today. And then the children, it's just going to be the name of the node and the children. And directly light red. Nothing can contain a light red. I guess we can, no, let's leave that for now. We'll see how far this gets us. And then what else can contain? Dark orange, and a light red can contain. Oh, interesting. Do we expect there to be... cycles in this, or did I just make my problem harder? I don't know. I do not know the answer. Well, that's tricky. I guess we'll just sort of find out. But I'm going to delete the cycle from mine in the interests of just sort of moving forward here. And contain muted yellow, but muted well, can't contain anything, so that's boring. Okay. Okay. Cool. All right, so rules. So first we need to go look up, what are we doing? We need to look up all of the rules that contain a, ooh, all right, 9:30. If value.keys.include shiny gold, we're building up what? Current. This is probably not. I'm probably way off track, but I'm not seeing how this is coming together in my head, but gonna start to look something more like what I'm trying for. Okay. That's extremely wrong because I'm not returning root. Current root. Root cap. Okay, well that works, but that only goes one level deep because our test input is not adequate. So let's say have cool blue can contain light red. Then we would set to see here, cool blue. I feel like I'm writing less, implementing trees is. Now, might actually need to stack here though. Or I can go recursive. Def populate, sure. Node. We'll see. I'm about to find out whether this fits in the stack space. I feel like it must. Delicious. Delicious hot apple cider. Thank you, Mamesy. Okay, so I'm gonna say populate root, and populate takes a node, and populate the node itself. Current, or did I use current? Okay. Gonna say that didn't work as desired. Did the tests pass? And or what happened there? No. No, we don't have a cycle in our test, do we? I mean, this isn't, I didn't expect this to be efficient, but I didn't expect it to blow through the stack. Maybe this is a crappy way to go about this. This seems like it's going to just be painful. Like, I don't actually need to do all this work to actually... Okay. I'm going to take a step back here. What if... So this class is a terrible name now. We're going to call it Transform 1 now. Toss all this junk. And let's say if we give it this hash, we want to get something far more useful and usable out of it, I think, which is a hash where we've sort of inverted the things we need here. So shiny gold is just mapped to an array of the things that can contain it. Light red, dark orange, muted yellow is mapped to an array that just contains dark orange. Light red is cool blue. Muted yellow can be contained by dark orange. I already put that in. Did I miss any? Dark orange. Dark orange can't be contained by anything. Cool. each with object. Type rules. And we only really care about rules.keys, so rules dot keys dot each. So we want to put each of them into the array. Each with object. I don't actually know how this works for the hash. Result. Does this work the way I expected it? I expect it to? No. Can I do this? Yeah. Show result. Cool. I should care about the value. Results. Key or equals empty array. We could do this with array default values too, but very close to the answer. But I missed that. Just missing that dark orange doesn't contain anything. And that is because dark orange or can't be contained by anything. That's fine. That makes me want to use the hash new though. Did I get that wrong? Hash new. Don't I have a blog post about this? Shouldn't I know this? Hash new with a value. Hash new. Hash key. Did I do it backwards? Cool. So that's expected, and I can leave that empty because I also get an empty array out of this. Okay, now I feel like we're like in the realm of we can kind of do something. So we're gonna do whatever, I don't even know what to call this. X equals transform one dot new the input dot transform, and then just make an array, I guess. This is where we might be able to do recursion. We'd have an easier base case anyway. So we'd say we have this scene. need to access. Ooh, 943. Taking me a little while today. I guess went down a not as great path, so. So, for this one, I will so let's see, let's step back here. So X shiny gold each okay, I can do like process shiny gold type and still don't know to name this variable, but we're going to not X again, and then we're going to say at scene if at scene, or it's going to be unless at scene include Y, then I'll forget completely how to type. At scene Y and process Y. And then return at scene.count. Well, I think I made that a little harder on myself than I needed to, but we have succeeded. Part 2. It's getting pretty expensive to fly these days, not because of ticket prices, but because of the ridiculous number of bags you need to buy. Consider again your shiny gold bag and the rules from the above example. So, a shiny gold bag must contain 1 dark olive bag and the 7 bags within it, plus 2 vibrant plum bags and the 11 bags within each of those. 1 plus 1 times 7 plus 2 plus 2 times 11 is 32. Some math. Of course, the actual rules have a small chance of going several levels deeper than this example. Be sure to count all the bags, even if the nesting becomes topologically impractical. Here's another example. Okay. Well, let's day 7 part 1 push that up just for the sake of it. Problem with not doing TCR anymore is I'm not like padding the heck out of my GitHub activity. Part 2 has its own little input, which we expect to be 126. Okay. feel like our broad recursive approach is going to work the same here. We're just computing something slightly different. I'm gonna copy a bunch of code. But our transform 1's no good anymore. It doesn't help us. So what's the question? A single shiny gold bag must contain 126 other bags. So now we want this sort of an untransformed input. Yeah, so yeah, this makes sense. Okay. So I don't think we need to use X anymore. Maybe we're setting it for account 0. We're not using X, we're just using input. And then here's where I get to get confused, right? So I have a type and account. So yeah, I got a ton of green like apple candy out of this. I assume that means I'm having a stroke or something. Okay, so as we go, this is sort of a more this is a more conventional, I think, recursion one. So our base case is going to be 0. So when we find a unit that has, or a type that has no children, hot pepper. Yeah, I mean that's what the tasting note said. So, Hoth, do you want a tie break on this one? Is it hot pepper or green apple candy? Okay, get out of here. Let's escape. So I don't even need to, this is just going to be standard recursion. Or some. Some takes a block, right? Getting strong must be a thing. Okay. That's fair. That sounds like me tasting coffee these days. I'm burnt out on tasting coffee. People are like, oh, I'm getting like some really nice sour cherry nuts. And I'm like, tastes like acidic, or it tastes roasty. I don't get into, I just decide whether I like it or not. Some takes a block. Cool. Oh, this is array. This isn't enumerable though. Can you sum any enumerable? Okay, okay. Yeah. Cool. All right. Process type times count. Interesting. How the heck did I get 0? And I'm doing some shadowing, but what? Oh no. Right. So these are the ones inside it. Oh, come on, brain. We can do this. So for each one, because we're always going to get down to a base case of 0 for process, which is going to cause all of these to be 0 because I'm not actually counting the right thing. It's count plus the things they contain. Yay! We brained hard enough and it just happened. Okay, cool. Very nice. Finished narrowly under the hour here. Part 2. Oh. Thank you everyone for coming. I will be back again tomorrow night with yet again more Advent of Code puzzles. Follow me on Twitter. I'm SuperGoodJared. If you are in the e-commerce space, want help building a new store or maintaining an existing Solidus store, give us a shout. We're Supergood Software. You can find us at supergood.software. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.